college since 1970. Thank you for listening. What's Up Yuma is next. It's 10 o'clock.
People collect all sorts of things: stamps, antique lamps, sports memorabilia. If you happen to collect cars and you're looking to make room in your collection, look no further than donating a vehicle to KAWC and Border Radio. Pickup is free, and you're helping this service bring you the programs you count on. Learn more at kawc.org/cars.
What's up, Yuma? I'm Johnny Porter.
And I'm Victor Calderon.
And on today's program, we are going to be joined first by
Dulce María Valle Álvarez. She's with the Mexican Consulate of Yuma.
We're going to find out what they do over there. I really have no idea, so I'm interested. As well as Dr. Corr. Yes, the Dr. Corr from right here at AWC. We hear he's retiring. We're going to find out what he's going to do with the rest of his life. So stay with us for What's Up Yuma Radio, beginning right now on KOFA 94.7 Border Radio.
And streaming online at borderradioaz.org and on the KOFA app. You can also view our show on the Border Radio Facebook page and the KAWC YouTube page. And don't forget, you can reach out to us by email at whatsupyumaradio@gmail.com.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by High Tanks Brewing Company, serving up scratch-made food, craft beers, and experiences at 2 desert locations in Welton. More at hightanks.com.
Chili from Philly. Nick Papagiorgio from Yuma.
Johnny Show! What's up, Yuma?
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to another episode of What's Up Yuma Radio. I'm Johnny Porter.
And I'm Victor Calderon.
Yes, he is. He is our new co-host for a while. We're gonna try him out. We're gonna see how he does. No, he's a seasoned professional. He's gonna do great. But yes, he'll be my co-host for a while. And like I said, we do have a doctor in the house. I'm talking about Dr. Corr from right here at AWC. There's rumors that he's gonna be retiring. I don't think they're rumors anymore. I think it's official. But thank you for being with us this morning.
Oh, I'm happy to be here. This will be fun.
Yeah, thank you. And so, like, when I hear your name, Dr. Corr, I think of like a Marvel villain or something. It's such a cool name, Dr. Corr.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no, yeah.
I've been described as a villain before, for
I
sure.
don't think you're a villain, but that's the first thing that comes in, Dr. Corr. Yeah. Watch out. We got
the evil Dr. Corr.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a great name, though. So we like to get to know our guests on this show. That's what we do. And for those that maybe don't know who you are, where are you from originally?
I was born and raised on the south side of Chicago.
Chicago, okay.
Yeah.
So what was it like growing up in Chicago? On the south side.
On the south side, and that's an important distinction, right? Because that's kind of a grittier, more working class part of Chicago. But it was great. I was the middle child of five kids, and just had a great childhood. Nothing but great memories.
Mm-hmm. So growing up in the South Side, you said it's a little bit grittier, and so what was that like? How'd that influence you as a child?
Well, again, 5 kids. Mom was a stay-at-home mom. So
and you were the middle, you said.
I was right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
The peacemaker. So
the peacemaker.
Yeah, my siblings might disagree, but traditionally that's the peacemaker.
Okay.
But income was limited. We didn't really go on vacations, but we never needed anything. And it's just a place that instilled a very strong work ethic. You got up each day, you went to work, you grinded, and and you came home to your friends and family and neighborhood.
So you saw your parents grinding to provide food put on the table,
sure, yeah,
and doing that. And so when you were younger, what did you want to be? Did you always see yourself as a president of a junior college?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, not at all.
What were those early interests?
Oh, the super early interest was playing for the Chicago Bears.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that... And I did play high school football, and I had a unique combination of a lack of size and a lack of talent.
Okay, well, those two things aren't really good. You're not going to get drafted on one of those.
Right.
I don't think they look for that.
So that diminished my college scholarship opportunities. But no, I was always interested in education. I have a keen love of history. So I always thought I'd be a history teacher and coach football at the high school level, neither of which ever happened. But that was my early aspiration.
Were you a White Sox fan at all?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I asked because they're famously from the South Side and represent, sort of the working versus like the Cubs fans who are like the North Side and different. But
I did not know
my
that. I
sports
just
aside.
learned something
Oh,
today.
absolutely. I had two favorite baseball teams growing up: the White Sox and whoever the Cubs were
Okay.
playing.
Yeah. Whoever's on the opposite side of those Cubs, huh?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So how come? What happened to the history? How'd the history become history or not existent?
Well, that was actually part of my college major, and that's a whole different story as a first-gen student. But I just 34 years ago, I got my first job at a community college, and that just sent me on a trajectory that lands me here in Yuma at AWC today.
So you said first generation.
Yeah.
So were you your other siblings? Did they pursue higher education as well, or?
No, I love to tell the story. Mom and Dad didn't go to college. My older sister and my older brother graduated high school and did not go to college. But my older sister, the oldest in the family, graduated high school, went to work, and then paid my tuition to go to a Catholic school outside of Chicago. I went to the suburbs and went to a Catholic school where I was surrounded by, it was an all-boys school, so I was surrounded by folks who it was understood they were going to college. And that opened my worldview, because I looked around and I saw some guys that I thought, I'm just as smart as these guys. Why shouldn't I be talking about where the conversation was? Will you go to college, but where will you go to college? And that led me on a path into college and to here today.
So I like that you said that it opened your worldview, because like to me, when I experience things, I need to have like a frame of reference. And if I don't have it, I don't do it. Like, and that higher education wasn't really a part of my upbringing. Either of my parents went until way later. My mom ended up pursuing higher education, but it wasn't really a part of my worldview.
Right.
But you said because your sister, and that's pretty unique that your
pretty
sister
cool.
did that. I might want to ask about that. It opened up a whole new world and realm of possibilities for you.
Yeah, in the neighborhood I grew up in, you graduated high school and then you found a job, and it was often at the job where your dad worked or uncle worked, or if you had someone in the post office, they got you a post office job, and that's just the way it was. And there weren't a lot of folks going off to college, and without a parent or a sibling or a cousin even who was in college, my worldview was very different until I got out of the south side of Chicago into an all-boys Catholic high school, and then that view just changed.
And you said you noticed there was a time where I'm just as smart as them.
Yeah.
I could do this. Can you describe that a little bit?
Well, yeah, you're not certain that you're college material until you have some comparator, right? Until you look to the guy to the left and the guy to the right and say, hey, gosh, I'm earning A's and B's at this school. And the guy to my left here is earning C's, and he's talking about what college he's going to go to. So it happens over time, and that's why I'm just so proud of the fact that like 70% of our students here at AWC are first gen students. They're on that journey as the first in their family. Pretty remarkable stuff.
So before we move on to that, I do want to ask about that, though.
Yeah.
So you're first gen. So how does it feel knowing that 70% right here at the college where you're a president of? Does that make you feel good? Is there like a special connection with that, knowing that you're a part of that?
Oh, absolutely. And at graduation each year, we have these stoles that say first gen graduate, and those who are first gen proudly wear those. And to be able to hand diplomas to student after student after student wearing those first gen stoles, you just know you're transforming lives. It's why I wanted to be here 10 years ago, and it's why I stayed.
And it's great to, I've seen it like La Cosecha, the annual event every year that celebrates graduates, and how families come out, parents, grandparents, and so it's like a family celebration of the graduate, and that's a great thing I think about this college, is that focus on first gen.
Victor, you're so right. And the fact is, we have our graduation down at the football stadium, and last year the crowd was so big they had to cut off entry. We filled the stadium, because in Yuma you don't give someone 4 tickets and say, you determine whether you're going to bring your grandma.
Yeah.
I mean, there are groups of 10, 15, 20, 25 people coming to support a graduate. Why? Because that first-gen graduate is not just graduating. That family is graduating, and it's a remarkable event. I love graduation.
Representation of something much bigger.
So much.
Yeah. And so, okay, then you make it to college. What was it like when you get there?
So I was just meeting with a student group 2 days ago, and I shared this story. I showed at Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois. I showed up the first day to move into the dorm, and we had bungee corded a mattress to the top of my dad's car. Well, you don't need to bring a mattress when you move into the dorm.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we were like the Beverly Hillbillies,
That is it,
kind of coming in.
I'm thinking of movies. I think that's actually a scene in a movie or something.
Is that
That's
right?
I think so. I think there's a movie where that
Hollywood
kind
remake
of
of
happens.
that, yeah.
But if there isn't a movie, if you're listening, you're a producer of a movie, we need to make that into a movie. That's great. So you're showing up, you got a mattress on there, and you're like, wait a minute, they provide
And they're
those,
they're like, you don't. We sent something in the mail. Maybe you don't need that. And so I really wanted to turn around and go home.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I made a lot of mistakes that first-gen students make. I took a lot of history classes, political science, anthropology, sociology, psychology. Problem was, I wasn't on a path to graduating because I wasn't taking enough science, humanities, math. So I was just taking the stuff I want because there was no one at home to guide me, and no one had reached out at this university to guide me. So ultimately, it took me 5 years to get my 4-year degree because I was just taking a lot of classes, frankly, I didn't need.
But you mentioned making some mistakes, but it's okay to make some mistakes, and I'm pretty sure that you don't regret taking some of those classes.
Oh, no. Gosh, no. There was another mistake I made where I had enrolled in 14 credit hours, and a class got canceled, so I was down to 11 credit hours. I didn't know how to add a class. And once you're down below 12 credit hours, your financial aid is affected. So that caused a financial calamity my freshman year. I just made a lot of mistakes. None of them fatal, and it was all part of the journey. And it's what focuses us here at the college on making sure that our first-gen students don't make the same mistakes.
Well, that's my next question was going to be that. So you were able to kind of pave the way of mistakes, but now you're a president, or your time here. Were you able to immediately start to implement these things, or like at least maybe streamline them, or look at this like, hey, I don't want this to happen to somebody else?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And a lot of great work was already being done before I got here, but we quickly initiated guided pathways, this making sure that credits count and they transfer. And the college has been a leader in that, for the past 7-8 years, doing amazing work in that capacity. And then the other thing I wanted to do is celebrate first-gen status, right? That it's not a stigma. I want all those students to know that we're here to support them. And as they sit in a classroom, there's a good chance their instructor is first-gen.
Oh, wow.
And the majority of the classroom around them. So a number of years back, we created these kind of nameplates that you could put outside your office that say, I am first gen. So as the student walks into a faculty office, he or she may see that faculty member is also a first gen. And it kind of reduces the stress for all our students.
Yeah, eases some of that anxiety because you're amongst familiar faces in a way because they're in the same boat as you.
100%.
So you're doing this. So you said you had a job originally at another junior college?
Oh yeah. I started my career in the Chicago area.
Okay.
I worked at 3 different community colleges in Illinois, and then prior to my 10 years here at AWC, I spent 10 years as part of the Maricopa Community College system at Scottsdale Community College.
Okay, so what was that like going from Chicago to Arizona?
Well, weather-wise, I didn't have to shovel sunshine, so that was the impetus for that move, and I think the bigger difference was between Scottsdale Community College and Arizona Western College.
Okay.
Simply because when you're in the Phoenix area, there's ASU, there's big companies, there's the Diamondback. I mean, there's large corporations. When you're here in Yuma, the support and the love for this college is so tangible here in Yuma. Arizona Western College plays just a really important role in the life of this community, the communities that we serve. So it's what attracted me here. And again, it's part of what kept me here.
So then how'd you make that move from Scottsdale to Yuma? How'd that happen?
Well, you know what, the previous president announced his retirement, and there was this, national search, and just submitted the materials. It was actually the first president's position I had ever applied for. I just knew enough about Yuma. I knew enough about the potential of Arizona Western College. And as a first-gen student, my wife was also born in Mexico, so a border community. Everything about this job said, this is the one. Our daughters were finishing up high school, and the plan was to wait 18 months till they graduated for me to start applying to be a president. But this position in this community at this college was so perfect that we kind of rushed that timeline. So yeah, got chosen by the district governing board. I have 5 bosses who serve on the district governing board, and that was a little over 10 years ago.
So over 10 years ago, or a little over,
yeah.
You said it was a national search. So you're up against some steep competition, I would assume.
Yeah. They the process is kind of not so transparent until the finalists are chosen. So I don't even know how many folks applied, but I do know it was a national search, and only when you get down to the final 3 folks is it like a known entity. But I suspect there was probably 100 or so applicants.
Oh, wow. So we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
On the other side of the break, we're going to come back and find out what was it like when he first stepped foot here on campus and what he's going to do with the rest of his life now that he's retiring. We're going to do that right after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
Caballeros de Yuma presents Midnight at the Oasis, March 6th through the 8th at Desert Sun Stadium. Yuma's signature celebration of classic cars, the event features vintage and custom vehicles, live rock and roll concerts, food vendors, and family activities. Proceeds support local programs and scholarships. More at caballeros.org.
You're tuned to 94.7 FM. Sunny in Yuma today with the high near 85, gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight with a low around 54. This week on Arizona Edition, Yuma's agricultural leaders gather for the Southwest Ag Summit to discuss the future of farming as water uncertainty looms over the region, and we cover Senator Ruben Gallegos' town hall in Yuma County. You can listen to the latest episode of Arizona Edition on the KWC app and at kawc.org. Stay tuned to 94.7 FM, KOFA Border Radio.
This is folk singer Michael Jonathan. Put your seatbelts on for this one. On Wood Songs this week, boogie woogie piano player from France, Henry Herbert. And from Austin, a wonderful singer-songwriter, Taylor Ray, plus an amazing Wood Songs kid. Tune in right here for this week's broadcast of the Wood Songs Old Time Radio Hour.
Tuesday evening at 7 on KOFA Border Radio 94.7 FM.
Bopping to the new beats heard around the world, or relaxing to the tunes of Memory Lane. We are your non-commercial source of music. Run by volunteer hosts, this is KOFA Border Radio 94.7 FM, 1320 AM, on the KOFA app, or at borderradioaz.org.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up Yuma Radio. We are here speaking with Dr. Corr. No, not a Marvel supervillain. He is the president right here at AWC. Well, for a little while. So, okay, we kind of left off. You're over here in National Search. You got chose. What was it like when you first stepped foot here at AWC on campus as the president?
You know, it was just an amazing feeling. I remember like it was yesterday, walking through the door of the president's office for the very first time and just feeling Well, a little bit of stress, right? Am I going to be able to pull this off? Again, your first presidency. Am I going to be able to pull this off? But I knew immediately that I had just such an amazing team, many who are still with me on cabinet. And through the process, I got to know a lot of the faculty and staff, and I saw their passion and commitment for students. I had an opportunity to meet members of the community, because I was hired in January and didn't start till July. So I had like a 6 months transition, and I was coming down regularly to meet with people. So I just knew there was such talent, such support, such passion for education here in Yuma that it was all going to work out. My job was just not to mess it up.
Okay, so what is the job of a president?
Yeah. It is... well,
besides not messing it up.
Yeah, that's job one. Don't mess it up.
Yeah.
Do no harm, right? So there's a lot of community aspects to it, right? Building partnerships. We have amazing partnerships with our K-12 partners, our university partners, our business partners, healthcare partners on Vita Health. So a lot of it is community outward facing. And then we're in budget development process right now. So I would say that is a huge part of what we do here. What I have to do as president is pulling together a budget to present to our district governing board. There's the process of communicating and managing, if you will, the district governing board.
What does the governing board do then?
The governing board supervises me. The governing board has one employee. So they hire, fire, and evaluate presidents. They approve the budget. They approve expenditures, things along those lines. So 2 of those members are from La Paz County. 3 are from here in Yuma County. So it's really important that I maintain regular communication with each of them and keep them informed as to what the college is doing. So they take a hands-off approach. I'm running the college, but it's with their oversight for sure.
What is it like being the college president at a time when, education and higher education and community colleges are looking at things like federal funding and having to, decide whether or not to cut certain programs or reduce them?
Yeah, great question, Victor. It's never been easy. The past year has certainly had its challenges, with our beloved camp program, where we've had a federally funded camp program for children of migrant workers for decades. Amazing success. That was zeroed out. But as with all things, you prioritize, right? So we've continued funding that program using institutional dollars. So it's always a challenge. There's never enough money to do everything you want to do, but you always have to make sure that you're making the best use of the scarce dollars you have.
So, and you mentioned that this program, we're obviously a border town.
Yeah.
So you get here. What'd you find out that was unique about that here at this university or college?
Yeah, just I spoke of our first gen population, 70+%, which is a huge percentage. That's also about the percent of the students who are Hispanic, right? So and the multilingual student population, right? You're just as likely to hear Spanish as you are English in the Starbucks, right? And what a superpower that is. And really what struck me in talking to students and hanging out with students and formally and informally is again this concept of they're the underdogs, right? They're just grinding. They're just working really hard and succeeding. So I've always just been inspired by their approach to life. They have this strong desire to better their lives and their families' lives.
Shout out to our students here on Yuma, and then of course in San Luis and Somerton.
Oh my gosh!
Up in Parker and as well, and over in Welton.
And let me talk about absolutely to all of those. Let me talk about San Luis a little bit. We were just down there for the district governing board last week. They have the highest rate of enrollment at the college of any feeder high school, right on the border. The Sidewinders are just killing it in terms of educational attainment. So yeah, it applies to all our students, no matter where they come from. But I always say when I go down to San Luis, there's a little bit of magic happening in South Yuma County. Somerton and San Luis, just some remarkable educational attainment.
And it's a team effort, right? You know, faculty and staff as well. Shout out to them. And, you know, as you said, you know, some of them are first gen, so they understand where these students come from. They speak the language, you know, English, Spanish, other languages, but yeah, it's a team effort.
Oh, 100%. And you know, it's things large and small, right? So we're in this brand new building, you know, the Matador Activity Center, and we've got a little convenience store, right? Mm-hmm. And we used to call that the convenience store. And then we realized students were calling it La Tiendita, the little store. So let's call it that, right? Let's make folks feel comfortable, right? So it's, you know, whether it's the murals on the wall or the art or the just saying, this is your college, and we understand where you come from, and we want you to feel comfortable and welcomed here.
So why do you think it is important to make them feel comfortable?
Yeah, because you don't want to be someplace where you're not comfortable, right? And we want them here. This amazing building here, right? They're playing pool. They're playing ping pong.
Yes, we can hear them.
Yeah, there's places to study. They're looking at you through the window as you do your show. We want gathering spaces, right? We want them over in the Starbucks. We want our students and community. I love it when community members come on campus just to sit in Starbucks if they want, right? This college belongs to the community that it serves.
You know, you mentioned the Starbucks. So I get up and I get here at 7 o'clock in the morning every morning, and I do my other work at the Starbucks for the first 2 hours of the day. I'm working on my other company, and I love it. I've been able to actually make some really cool connections and meet some interesting people. And I'm like, why are you here? It's like, well, I'm just here to study. I like to get away from everything and, you know, and just study. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. You don't go here? It's like, no, I'm a pastor of a church or whatever, and like just like to do here. I'm an owner of a business, and I like to look over the plans, stuff like that. So yeah, definitely with community. And I just want to say, so I'm here. I don't go out really introducing myself since I've been here, but I was there. I think when you met with some of those students, it was at Starbucks, and there was people around you, and I was able to get kind of a little preview, and I was listening to you tell the stories that you told, and I'm like, wow, this guy. I just have to say, it was you were passionate about it, and it was very genuine. And the students, they were really kind of leaning in and listening to what you say.
Yeah, and thank you for that. That's very kind. I love doing that. I love interacting with our students, hearing their stories, sharing my stories, and you know, just finding common ground for sure.
And we have students here, both KWC and COFA Border Radio on staff. They host some of the shows. We have the student newsroom that's doing great work reporting and sharing that student perspective that is very much needed. And Siendo Primero, which again goes back to that first-gen experience, and it's bilingual, so it's en español también, which is very important.
So that word you just said that I'm not going to try to say, that's if it wasn't for that show, there wouldn't be no What's Up Yuma, and I'm going to explain why. Is because I met Lou and Dave when they did something at Prison Hill for that show. There was like something there, and I was over there. Prison Hill was one of my clients, so I went and introduced myself to Lou and Dave, because I was at K-Blue at the time. And that show is kind of why we have a show here, because I went and introduced myself. I made a relationship with them and, pitched this all these years later. So that's really cool. That's a little bit of a connection there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to share that a few months ago, I was able to have a quick meeting with the Governor Hobbs, and she had just been in Yuma and was interviewed by some student reporters.
Yes.
And I kept trying to make my pitch for funding and this and that. All she wanted to talk about was the interview that the student reporters had conducted with her during her visit to Yuma, how impressed she was. And there was no softball questions or no gotcha questions.
No.
But it wasn't. It was a solid journalistic interview, and she was just super impressed.
I believe it was Elias Alvarez and Sahe Barcenas were the hosts. But yeah, that's just an example of, we want to talk to students. We want to talk to people in our community. It worked out with the governor. And that's really cool because we've interviewed her and we just want to get that student perspective. And then they share that with their students, fellow students.
It made an impression on her.
That's good to know.
And so before we leave that topic, yesterday I get a text message from my barber and he's like, somebody from your radio station just left. And I'm like, it's a Sunday. What's going on? And it's like, yeah, I was just interviewed by somebody and it was a student for Black History Month at my barbershop. Shout out to 15th Ave Barbershop over there. But yeah, it was really cool. He was really excited about it. They came in and they got his perspective. So that's definitely something.
Nice.
So we're kind of wrapping up here at the end. So you made the announcement. You decided to retire.
Yeah. So 10 years has been a great run, and just thrilled that Dr. Ritika Dewan was announced as the sole preferred candidate and ultimately selected to succeed me in the office.
What was her position here before that? I'm not familiar.
Yeah, Ritika's a remarkable woman. You have to get her on the show. She started as a faculty member. She taught math and physics, and then 7 or 8 years ago, I asked her to serve as the dean of CTE, Career and Technical Education, which is kind of a disconnect, but she's so talented, so innovative. So she became the dean of CTE, ultimately became vice president of CTE and CEO of the Entrepreneurial College, and was just a logical choice. Beloved in the community, certainly respected by all faculty and staff. She's gonna be amazing.
So you making that decision, knowing that this is the number one candidate, probably helped ease that decision then.
You know what? Very selfishly, there's an amazing amount of pride in that someone that I have worked with and mentored is going to become the next president. So yeah, I take probably more pride in that than I should. You know, like it's all her own doing. But yeah, it certainly made the decision easier. It'll be bittersweet. I'll wake up on June 1st and not get in the car and drive to the college, and that'll be a transition for me for sure.
Between now and then, what are you two going to work on in order to ease that transition? Yeah. Again, she knows the campus, she knows the community, and they know her. But again, what is on your calendar, so to speak, between now and then?
A lot of budget. So most times a president will start July 1 with the new fiscal year. We decided to do it differently because the final budget is presented at the June district governing board meeting. And to me, it made no sense for me to present a budget that Ritika will, Dr. Dewan will have to execute. Yeah. So we're working through that budget, crunching the numbers as we speak. So that and billing position. Right. When that first domino falls, we have to backfill for her. So that and some board relations, things like that.
Mm-hmm. So then ease the decision. You have somebody that you said, it was pretty cool that you mentioned that somebody you worked with for so long, were able to kind of like raise up in this. Now you made the decision. So what are you thinking you're going to do? Because you're when I saw you over there and I'm like, look at this guy's going to retire and he's passionate about it. You're talking. And I was like, he's full of life and energy. There's no way this is the end of the road. But what are you kind of thinking after this?
Yeah. Don't know for sure. I'll be doing something. It's my wife's job takes her back to the Valley. We have a house in Gilbert. Okay. Our daughters are in Gilbert. Her mom is in Gilbert. My brother is in Queen Creek. So for a lot of family reasons, heading back to the Valley. And the great thing about quote unquote retirement is I'll be able to be more selective with what that next opportunity is, what I'm doing, how much of it I'm doing. But I'm definitely going to do something. I'm too young. My health is great to just lay on the couch.
So golf? Do you fish? Any of those? You know what?
I don't golf. Probably haven't for a decade. I certainly don't fish or hunt. I just like hanging out with my wife. We love to travel.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. So my bucket list is to visit 100 countries. I'm at 75 now. In 2 weeks, we fly to Abu Dhabi. That'll be 76. So some travel, and
How many countries are there, real quick?
I don't know. Like
Are there 100 countries in the world?
Yeah,
You have
like
to look at a map.
Does anybody know?
Like 100.
75 is impressive, though.
Yeah.
75 is impressive.
So I have a buddy that I think he's under like 170 on the list.
Wow.
Like, I think he's about that. And
Yeah.
you got to check him out sometime. Shout out to the Sultan of Slow Jamistan. If you Google it, it actually just made its way on Jeopardy the other day. He bought some land outside of El Centro and called it Slow Jamistan. But anyway, that's his goal, and I think he's up to like 170 countries.
I'm just trying to get to see the 50 states, and I haven't gotten to all 50 states, but I'll work on countries later.
There we go.
I have some years on me.
So what would you like to say, or maybe would be remembered for here as your legacy, if there's any?
Yeah, so much to be proud of. I think something I am uniquely proud of, because we've focused so much on those first-gen students, is we've been really innovative in our ability to offer early college opportunities. That's enrolling at AWC while you're still in high school. That could mean taking a class in your high school, or coming to the college. One of the first things I asked the district governing board to do was reduce tuition, and we reduced tuition to $25 a credit hour for students still in high school. And we just marketed it, and we sought abilities to get folks credentialed so they could teach dual enrollment or early college. And as a result, the number of high school students taking college credit has increased by 1,026% over that period of time. So tenfold, 1,026%. And therefore, that's why our enrollment is up. That's why our degree completion is up. The pipeline, we're creating that college-going culture in Yuma and La Paz County. Just super proud of that.
Yeah, and that culture, and like you started, it was all about the possibility that you had at this Catholic school, and it opened up, and it became part of your worldview. You're trying to give that, and it sounds like you have given that here at your tenure, and what's over maybe a little under 10 years, would you say?
Little under 10 years.
Little under 10 years here.
It'll be 10 years when I leave, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us. It was good to know you. And if you could introduce me to Ritika, I'd love to get her on the show.
Absolutely. There's one last thing I really do need to say.
Yes.
It's been a great decade to be a Matador.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
I was wondering if you were going to say that. People listening probably were wondering that too.
Yeah, well, we are there. It's the end of the road for him. And this segment, we're going to be back with who?
Dulce María Valle Álvarez from the Mexican Consulate of Yuma.
See, I'm glad I got Victor here to say that. I couldn't do it. But we'll be back after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by High Tanks Brewing Company, crafted in Welton, inspired by the desert, offering scratch-made food, handcrafted beers, live music, and experiences like farm tours and glamping. Location information, the schedule of events, and details on the range of options to be enjoyed are at hightanks.com.
Welcome to KAWC's The Hotspot.
I'm Chloe Michael.
And I'm Maya Manry. This week, in honor of Cupid's Day, we explore love in Yuma. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the anti.
From drag to music to burlesque. And I wanted to bring that to Yuma. I thought it'd be something special.
This show is available as a podcast or online at kawc.org under the shows tab.
Bringing the heat to Yuma and La Paz, it's The Hotspot.
For KAWC News, I'm Cisco Stargazer, Education Solutions Reporter. The Yuma Union High School District is continuing its Parent Academy series this week. This marks another year of the series, which was designed to help parents feel confident and informed as their child navigates high school. Attendees can learn about how students can earn college credit while in high school, as well as support services available to students and families. They'll also learn about ways to get involved in their child's education, plus planning for life after graduation. Sessions will be held weekly from February 24th through March 19th at 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Sessions are open for all families, including incoming 8th grade families, regardless of day or location. No RSVP required. For exact session dates and locations, visit our site at kawc.org, or you can watch the sessions on demand online. Just visit yumaunion.org and select Parent Academy under the For Parents tab. For KAWC News, I'm Cisco Stargazer.
The KAWC Student Newsroom is funded by the Local News Initiative at the Community Foundation for Southern Arizona, the Scripps Howard Fund, and by generous local support. Thank you for supporting the next generation of public media. Learn more about the project and hear stories from emerging journalists at kawc.org/student newsroom.
I'm Public Radio Runner. Join me for Bonus Smiles, the show sharing the stories and playlists that fuel runners. Why? Because the rando cheering you on at a mile 77 aid station is the same kind of person who supports local public radio. Join us every Saturday at 5 a.m. on KOFA at 94.7 FM for stories that soothe and jams that power long runs.
I'm Mike Suba, and I'm a big supporter of KAWC. You're getting a great source of information about our community, about the people that are working and living here, and you start going, you know what, this is really a valued service. And that's the great thing, is you've got a partnership here. And I'm a big believer in partnerships because the one thing I realized early on in life, I can maybe do a lot of stuff on a very limited basis, but when I start partnering up, it's amazing what we can do when we pool our resources. And so I hope that when people are listening to the station, enjoying the news broadcasts and the entertainment shows that are being presented, that they realize that you're not only the end user and enjoying what's being broadcast to you, but it can be a partnership too, where you can participate, like I've discovered I can do, and help get this service, enhance it, and provide even better programming. I'm Mike Suba, and I support KAWC.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here now joined by
Dulce María Valle Álvarez, with the Mexican Consulate in Yuma. Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for the invitation. Thanks to you.
Yes, and this is, you've said, your first English interview.
That's right. That's my first English interview.
All right. And then off air, you were speaking French a little bit ago.
I speak French at home every day.
Really?
Yes. It's my second language, I can say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, we're not going to do this interview in French at all.
No. Parlez-vous français? No.
That's that's all I know.
Just a little bit.
Pour moi, ce serait très bien.
No. Oh, very good. Very good. So we like to get to know our guests a little bit before we go into actually what they do. So where are you from originally?
Well, I'm from Mexico City, but in reality, I always say that I'm from Acapulco.
Okay.
Because I moved very young to Acapulco, and I studied there until the high school. For that reason, my feeling is from Acapulco.
Mm-hmm. But
I was born in Mexico City.
Born in Mexico City, but you resonate with, what'd you say? How'd you say it?
Acapulco.
Acapulco. Okay, yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. I didn't want to. I've heard of it.
You have to go.
I do.
Road trip.
Yes.
Road trip, Johnny.
You know, Veronica.
It's a beautiful beach.
Did you see Veronica? If you follow Veronica Shore, who was helping me out, she just spent like the week in Mexico City.
Veronica Shore, yeah. So she works here in Yuma, or is known in the community, and she was in Mexico City with her sons.
Yeah, it was cool seeing a lot of the
cultural trip.
Yeah, all the pictures and everything.
I'm jealous.
So early on, what did you want to go to school for? What did you want to study? What was your interest?
Well, I studied international relations. That's always my interest. I studied in Mexico City at the UNAM, is the name in Spanish, the National University. And then I made some studies in Switzerland, in Geneva, in the High Institute for International Relations. I was there also. And then I came to be diplomat.
Okay, so let's go back a little bit. Early on, what made you interested in international relations? Like, what was the thing that kind of sparked that interest?
I think it was my interest to see the world, to read the news.
So how old are you at this point? You're reading the news and you want to see how young?
I was, in Spanish, we say preparatoria. In English, I think it's the college. I was
or like high school around there.
Yes, I was there.
High school, college,
and I knew some people who was at the university teaching in the political faculty, And I spoke with them, and that was growing my interest in politics and international relations and international organizations. And I want to do something for my country in foreign office. Because, do you know, I think domestic and international relation is linked. And I a very independent woman. You have to be. If you want to be diplomat, I think that you have to be very independent because you are far from your family, far from your friends, far from all your environment. So it's hard. You have to have the vocations for to do that.
So when you're studying this, did you kind of resonate with it even more? And is it partly because you were proud of where you're from that you wanted to go out and represent?
I'm proud to be Mexican, and I think I always want to do something for my country. And I think my work was more focused on multilateral issues. So participate in negotiations, in the negotiations of conventions, treaties, resolutions, statements, declarations. It's very important because all that work that you do is reflected in the domestic law. It's very interesting. Bilateral is also very important because I was also in an embassy, in 2 embassies, and that is very important for my country to have good relations with the host country and to go to speak with the people from the Minister of Environment, the Minister of Technology, of Innovations, to bring cooperation projects for both countries. You feel that you are doing something for your country. And now here in a consulate, it's very different, it's very important because you are close to the community. Do you know? In multilateral, you are with all the diplomats around the world, 194 countries. In bilateral, you are working with your with the government, with the federal government of the host country. But when you are in consulate, you are with the community, with local authorities, and it's more human. And the results are immediately. Because in the other fields, on other ramas,
other branches,
in other branches, the results are longer.
Yeah, because you're dealing with laws and a bureaucracy. So where you said you were a diplomat first?
I'm a diplomat, yes.
Okay. And then you said you worked with other embassies, or did you have to go to other embassies, other countries, or how'd that work?
Yes, because you know the diplomacy has 2 branches. The diplomatic branch, consular and diplomatic branch, and the administrative branch. I'm in the diplomatic and consular branch. And in this, you have 3 options. Multilateral, that's the interaction with many countries at the same time, in New York, in Geneva, where there are international organizations. And the other is bilateral. The embassies are in the capital of each country. Here is in Washington. The interaction is with the federal government. And consular, we are where our nationals are. It's different.
So you're working with people from Mexico who live in the Yuma area and want to get services that you offer.
Yes, and the Yuma and La Paz counties. This is my jurisdiction.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back on the other side of the break and find out how you ended up here, and then also a little bit about what the consulate does. All right. We're going to do that after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
Feel the beat. Let your curiosity run away on the Latin Alternative. Hi, I'm Josh Norrick. Every episode of the Latin Alternative takes you on a thrilling rendezvous of sonic and exotic landscapes in Latin rock, funk, hip-hop, electronic, and tropical music. Join me and my co-host Ernesto Lechner on the Latin Alternative.
This evening at 7 p.m. on KOFA Border Radio 94.7 FM.
The weather forecast for Yuma today is sunny with a high near 85 and winds that could gust to size 20 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight with a low around 54. In Flagstaff, sunny with a high near 58 and an east wind around 5 to 8 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight with a low around 29. Sunny in Kingman with a high near 72. Partly cloudy tonight with a low around 48. And in Prescott, sunny with a high near 70 and a northeast wind around 5 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight with a low around 40.
Today's day sponsor is Mark John Haugo, wishing Dr. Cheryl Haugo, the love of his life, the happiest of birthdays today. Mark John says, "You are always able to bring so much joy to myself and others on a daily basis. I can only hope that this day and the entire year can come close to doing the same for you. Lots of love, Cheryl. Happy birthday."
KOFA Border Radio doesn't sound like any other radio station in Yuma. We are a non-commercial source for music from around the world, across the decades and local artists. Our hosts are volunteers. If you would like to get involved, send an email to music@borderradioaz.org.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. And now I'm going to give it a shot. We're here with Dulce María Valle Álvarez. Yeah? Okay, good. He's clapping. That means I got it right. All right. And, she's from the Mexican Consulate. So how'd you end up in Yuma? Like, what brought you here and into the consulate?
Why are you here?
Yeah, why? ¿Por qué? See, right? ¿Por qué?
Why? Because my government sent me here. I was at the embassy, Mexican embassy in Canada, at the last post that I had before to came, and they moved us.
Okay,
diplomats.
So that's like a natural thing that they do. They
natural thing.
Okay.
Yes.
So they moved you to Yuma. How long have you been here in Yuma, and what was your first thoughts when you arrived?
Well, I arrived on April 2023, almost 3 years ago, almost. I was surprised because it's the first time that I live in a desert and in the border and in the United States.
Yeah.
Because I was 18 years in Europe and 11 years in Canada. Never in the United States. So it's the first time. So for me, it was very interesting all this time. The dynamic in the border is special. The people is very kind. And this mobility of people who were born in Mexico, but now they are Americans. And they had family there, family here. They are cousins, friends, uncles, This, for me, is very interesting to see all that.
So what services does the consulate offer?
Well, we have documentation services, protection services, community services, and also we have a section of economic and trade promotion. All these are very important. The four branches are very important. Protection is important for migration. Community is important for have a relationship with the community, organize events and all that. Documentation, because it's not only passports, it's also the consular register. In Spanish, we say matrícula consular, that allow people to have an identification. The ED card for vote.
The voter ID,
the voter ID is
vote.
very important. And also we have notarial faculties.
Notary.
Notary faculties.
Yes.
And for Americans, we have also services. What I want to say is what the Mexican consulates are doing in the United States is the same thing that the American consulates are doing in Mexico.
Okay.
No, we issued visa for the Americans that want to go to Mexico for business, to work, to study. We have temporary and resident visas also,
Okay.
or for adoption, for example. So we have also services for Americans.
Are there any challenges right now? Because right now we know we're in a time when there's a lot of misinformation, right? Online, on Facebook, people see something about, their visas or their IDs or things like citizenship. So are there any messages you would like to share with our listeners about anything you would like to clarify or, just share about what it's like right now?
Well, what I tell is that we are here for serve the community. We are open all the weeks from 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock. We open one Saturday by month. You have to follow us on the social media and also to look the website, and you will see all our events and all the services that we have with the tariff also, the requests. For example, one challenge that we have now, that we had many requests for register. Register is a Mexican nationality, dual nationality.
Dual citizenship.
Dual citizenship. It's a challenge because we are a small consulate.
Yes.
I don't have many personnel, and it's a free service. And the last 2 years we had the more and more demand, and we are doing well. I think I just said people came without appointment, because sometimes they say that had problems with the system. We had many systems for the appointment. We had WhatsApp, telephone number, and internet is a platform. But I also allowed people to send a message to our email.
Okay.
They send, when I want to make the dual nationality, dual citizenship, I annex my documents and I need an appointment.
Okay.
So we can give an appointment also by mail.
Yes.
That's what I want the people know.
Yes.
That we are open for them.
So I guess the message is be patient, because you have a small staff and you want to serve everybody and give them the amount of time they deserve.
Yes.
And again, remind our listeners where the consulate is, because it's on Gist Parkway, or what's the address?
We moved almost 1 year ago. Before we were in Main Street, if you remember.
Around the roundabout there, by the fountain.
Yes, now we are in the 301 South 2nd Street.
South 2nd Street, okay.
It's very near the fire station. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, the Yuma fire station there.
4 Avenue.
Right.
Fire station. There's a library.
Right.
With the
Heritage Library, I think it's called.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yes,
the
we
older
are
library.
there in the corner.
Okay.
In front is almost the City Hall.
Okay, yeah, it's right near Yuma City Hall too.
Yes, yes, we are not far.
So I had a question. You talked about you do events. Like, what kind of events do you do for the community?
For example, the National Mexican Party on September, that's the big one.
Okay.
September 16th.
Yes, that's the big one.
I like parties, so I'm going to be there.
Yeah, but we have others. We have what do say in Spanish, ventanilla educativa, ventanilla financiera, y ventanilla de salud. What I mean is, one, for example, education from community. We work with Arizona Western College, with Dr. Corr, Ratica, with all the staff, and we gave some scholarship to some students here. From health, now we have an agreement with Campesinos Sin Fronteras, and we made some activities in health for the community. For example, permanently in the consulate, you have a person who takes your blood pressure,
yes, health exams,
and the glucose. and other services. And in finance, we have an agreement with the Comité del Bienestar.
Mm-hmm.
And we help people. What I mean with these three activities, we make events, we organize events, but also we have community to integrate it to the United States.
And we're going to be wrapping up right now. Let everybody know where to find you, maybe online, and you said on social media.
The social media, we have Instagram, we have Facebook, we have X or X.
X,
or
yeah,
Twitter.
Twitter, yeah. I still call it Twitter.
LinkedIn, also for TikTok sometimes, and the website.
Well, thank you very much. Muchas gracias.
Yeah, thank you so much for being with us. You did great for your first English interview, so thank you.
I had many things to say, but
we'll have to have you back.
We'll get you back. We'll get you back. And with that, we're going to see if we can read this together. What's Up Yuma Radio is a production of KAWC, Colorado River Public Media. We broadcast from the studios in the Matador Activity Center at Arizona Western College in Yuma. We want to thank our engineer, Talon Gonzalez, Anthony Arnales, Juan Garcia, and Dave Reek.
You can find out more about COFA at borderradioaz.org and on the COFA app. Stay tuned for COFA's Midday Music.
On tomorrow's program, we are going to have some fighters in the house. Yes, they're going to be fighting at YFL 8. You're going to find out who that is on the next show.
And you can listen to the podcast version of our program and check out past episodes anytime at kawc.org/podcast/What's Up Yuma Radio.
All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by High Tanks Brewing Company, serving up scratch-made food, craft beers, and experiences at 2 desert locations in Welton. More at hightanks.com.
Broadcasting from Yuma campus of Arizona Western College for more than 55 years, this is Border Radio, 94.7 FM, KOFA Yuma. We also broadcast at 1320 AM in Yuma, at kawc.org, and on the COFA app.
The Yuma County Library District provides activities and resources at its branches for people of all ages. Events include story time, citizenship classes, bilingual programs, crafts, author talks, and more. For more information about the activities and calendar of events, plus other in-person and online resources, visit yumalibrary.org.
BBC News with Moira Alderson.